Today, we're diving into a topic that can dramatically impact your financial future and overall success in life: the difference between a poor mindset and a rich mindset. You might think that wealth is all about having the right connections, being in the right industry, or simply having more money to start with. But the truth is, the way you think and the choices you make have a far greater influence on your financial success than any external factors. To help us explore these crucial differences, I've drawn insights from three powerful books: Rich Dad, Poor Dad, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, and The E-Myth Revisited. These books have changed the way millions of people think about money, success, and personal growth. And today, we'll see how the principles they teach can apply directly to your life. Whether you're just starting on your financial journey or looking to break through to the next level, understanding the mindset differences we'll discuss could be the key to unlocking your potential. Before we begin, I need you to make a commitment to yourself. To do this, type a declaration in the comments right now saying, "I am in control of my mind." One of the most significant differences we'll talk about is how people with a rich mindset focus on building assets that generate income before indulging in comfort items. In contrast, those with a poor mindset often prioritize buying things that look good on the outside, but leave them with no money to invest in their future. I'll also share a real-life example that illustrates how these mindsets play out in everyday life. How one person's decision to prioritize assets over appearances led to long-term success, while another's focus on comfort led to financial struggles. But it doesn't stop there. We'll also discuss the importance of continuously improving your skills, the value of outsourcing tasks to focus on what truly matters, and the power of creating win-win situations. These are just a few of the principles that can help shift your mindset from one of scarcity to one of abundance, enabling you to achieve the financial freedom and success you've always dreamed of. So, if you're ready to transform the way you think about money and success, stick around. By the end of this video, you'll have a deeper understanding of the habits and mindsets that can either hold you back or propel you forward. Let's get started on the path to a richer mindset and a more prosperous future. Are you ready? I want to start by talking about the rich mindset and the poor mindset. For this, I've referred to 3 books: Rich Dad, Poor Dad, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, and The E-Myth Revisited. The first difference between people with a poor mindset and those with a rich mindset is that people with a rich mindset focus on building assets that generate income every month before they indulge in comfort items. On the other hand, people with a poor mindset tend to buy unnecessary things for show, leaving them with no money to invest in something meaningful, which keeps them trapped in financial struggle. Let me share a real-life example. During college, I lived in a colony with about 6 or 7 houses. Most of these houses were beautifully designed, but one house was incomplete and belonged to a businessman. The rest of the houses belonged to doctors, engineers, and professors. I stayed with an uncle and aunt who were retired professors from a private university, and they didn't receive a pension. When I first saw their house, I thought they were wealthy. Everything from their car to the interior design was perfect. I lived on the first floor, and I often overheard the uncle and aunt arguing, usually about money. Even small expenses caused tension between them. Once, while sitting on the balcony, I mentioned to the uncle that their neighbor's house was still incomplete. The uncle responded, "Yes, he's very stingy. He has a car but only built 1 floor, which makes our colony look less attractive." A few months later, I moved out, but the uncle called me one day asking if I knew anyone looking for a PG, paying guest place. I said I would ask around, but when he called again the next day, I found it odd. I told him that my friends thought the rent was a bit high, and he responded, Well, it should be, given the facilities we provide. The next day he called again and offered to lower the rent, but my friends still found it too expensive. When I compared this to the concepts in Rich Dad, Poor Dad, I realized that while the businessman's house was incomplete at the time, it later became the largest and most beautiful house in the colony, with 3 floors. The uncle, who owned a Honda City, eventually started using a scooter, likely to save money, despite giving the impression of wealth. This story highlights a common mistake among those with a poor mindset. They might have a salary of $15,000, but they'll buy a $50,000 iPhone, take out a loan for a big car, or spend $10,000 on jeans or shoes. In contrast, people with a rich mindset carefully consider the value of a product before purchasing it. They pay themselves first before anyone else. Many of you may have read Rich Dad, Poor Dad, but few know Robert's actual story. Before marriage, Robert was deep in debt. Although they wanted to improve their lives, their loan installments were more than their monthly income. However, Robert followed the principle of paying yourself first, saving 20% of their salary each month despite pressure from creditors. This forced them to work extra hard to make their loan payments, knowing that paying others first would prevent them from becoming wealthy. Eventually, they invested their savings and became millionaires. Many of us make the mistake of thinking we'll pay off all our debts first and then start saving, or that we'll save whatever is left after our expenses. But the sequence is crucial. Even Warren Buffett advises saving first and spending the rest. Even if your salary is low, always try to save at least 20% of your income. Of course, saving alone won't make you rich. You need to invest that money wisely. But saving is the first essential step. The next point is that rich-minded people continuously improve their skills throughout their lives. This principle is known as sharpen the saw in the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. Have you noticed that you never see ads for very expensive products on TV? You won't see Ferrari or private jet commercials because these companies know that the people who can afford them don't waste their time watching TV. Many people with a middle-class mindset think that after finishing their education, they deserve to relax and stop learning. They come home after work, watch TV, and feel they've earned it. Middle-class business people might do the same, watching TV shows in the evening instead of learning new things. Learning can feel stressful to them, but those with a rich mindset understand the importance of lifelong learning, and it excites and relaxes them. For example, Bill Gates, even after retiring from Microsoft and becoming a billionaire, still reads books constantly and shares his thoughts on his website, Gates Notes. This is the mindset of someone who keeps improving, even after achieving great success. Despite being retired, Bill Gates and his wife Melinda continue to run a foundation that addresses global health issues. Few people know this, but their foundation has made significant contributions to health programs in India. Another important point is the value of outsourcing. Many people believe that once they secure a job, they no longer need to grow, thinking they'll stay in the same job forever. This mindset leads to a life of scarcity, where they try to save money on everything, from electricity to food, spending their entire lives improving these small skills. However, people with a rich mindset understand that they only have 24 hours in a day and limited willpower. If they want to grow, they need help from others. They outsource tasks like cooking, cleaning, driving, and even technical office work, allowing them to focus on rare and valuable skills that can help them grow. By doing this, they contribute significantly to the economy and provide jobs for others. Unfortunately, people with a poor mindset often envy them, thinking they rely too much on others. But those with a rich mindset are not outsourcing to show off. They do it to save time, which is often misunderstood. This doesn't mean you should outsource all your work and then sit at home watching TV. It simply means that if you're growing and need help, don't hesitate to get it so you can continue to grow. The next point is to think win-win. To understand human psychology, researchers conducted an experiment where they placed two people who didn't know each author in a room and put 100 on the table. The first person was to decide how to split the $100, and the second person would decide whether to accept the offer. If the second person accepted, they would both get the amount as per the first person's decision, but if they didn't accept, neither would get anything. The researchers found a pattern. If the first person split the $100 equally, 50-50, the second person would accept and both would get $50 each. If it was split 60-40, the second person would still accept. But if the split was 70-30, the second person would reject the offer and neither would get anything. This tipping point of human emotions was around 70-30. The researchers repeated the experiment with many people, but the number stayed around 70-30. Even in developing countries, the result was the same. If you were the second person, you might think, why should the first person get $70 and I only $30? I won't accept that. You might feel emotionally justified, but logically, you weren't getting anything before, and you could have simply said yes to get those dollars. But most people say no to the deal, and this reflects the psychology of a poor mindset, where jealousy and competition dominate. On the other hand, people with a rich mindset look for ways to create win-win situations. They avoid win-lose or lose-lose deals. Even if they get a smaller share, they know they can create many such opportunities and earn a good profit for themselves and others. In this video, we discussed 5 points. The first was first assets, then comfort. Focus on creating sources of income before buying luxury items. Second, pay yourself first. Always try to save at least 20% of your income, no matter how much pressure you're under. Act as if your salary is low, and then learn to invest that 20% wisely. Third, outsource tasks if you're improving yourself and need more time. Don't be stingy in these areas. Keep learning and continuously improving your skills. Congratulations on making it to the end of the video, and thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, leave your like and comment until the end down below, so I know you are part of this special group of persistent people. I would love to give your comment a little heart as recognition for your effort. See you in the next video.